Hello, my friends, and welcome to the 12 Projects of Christmas 2024. This is project number 1. But before we get to that, let's just talk for a second about how fast this last year went. I feel like we were just here celebrating the 12 Projects of Christmas 2023. And now here we are celebrating 2024, and we have some great things in store for us in the next few weeks. Join me along this journey that we're going to take, making 12 projects of Christmas right here. And make sure you click subscribe and make sure you get notified when I post a new project of Christmas, because they're going to be fun. And today is no different. We're going to start with a bang. I've got my Hallmark Channel Christmas movie watching shirt on. And we are going to roll with it because I love Christmas. I love Christmas projects, and we have some dandies. So let's get started. Our first project is going to feature this amazing set of dies, although we're going to do something a little bit more boring with them as far as all of the detailed dies go. We're not going to use those. However, I'm going to show you a great idea with just this outline die. And of course we have to have a trunk on our tree, so we'll talk about that when we get there. And then we're also going to use some of the designer series paper that is located not way at the beginning, but very close to the beginning of the mini catalog on page 25. We have this gorgeous Season of Elegance. We're going to take a closer look at that DSP. And then we're also going to add just a touch of the gold ribbon from the gold and silver combo pack that you can find in the online exclusives, as well as another online exclusive item, this gorgeous, very vanilla satin ribbon. I just want to do this because it feels so nice and soft. But alas, we have a project to make. So we're going to take a peek at what this paper and this die can do, along with dies from the annual catalog. And that would be our postage stamp dies. We're going to actually just use the largest one, so stay tuned. I'm going to show you how you can cut this down to basically whatever size you would like it. So let's get started. This is a great project, and I think you're going to enjoy the fun things that we're going to do with the products we're using. We're going to start with the Season of Elegance Specialty Designer Series paper, and you can see that it shimmers and shines as I bring it on camera here. We have full pieces of a couple of them and then partials of others. But what I wanted to show you is that this basic beige piece actually comes in 2 different designs in the pack. And you can see when I bring both out the difference between the two, as well as on the back side. This is more streaky. You can almost use it as a wood grain. And then this is more of a spackling on the back side of that one. The same holds true for the green piece, a mixture of old olive and mossy meadow. And you can see this piece has big splotches of gold, again, like the other piece. And then the other piece in the pack is a little more separated and sporadic, I guess is the word. And then on the back side, again, we have a little bit more streaky. We are going to use this side, and then this side has that spackly look. And then finally, we've got a couple of other colors. The Real Red and Cherry Cobbler combo here has all of its gold kind of down the middle, which I really like that. And here's the back side. And then the Pretty Peacock is the same. It's got that gold across the center, but it also has speckles throughout, and the red does as well. I just didn't point that out. And then we've got, look at these drips on the back. That is super cool. I love that. I can just picture the actual painted canvas that this was taken from. I think that's really neat. We are going to take the green variety here, I have cut out 4 of the trees, and that is from the outline that I showed you a little bit ago. We are going to fold these in half, the gold side in. And I'm also going to bring in my paper trimmer because I want a really nice scored line. And the easiest way to do that is to score it in the trimmer. So before we do that, oops, we're going to add little tree trunks. I cut the tree trunks from this beautiful basic beige piece, as well as I used that little die there, and it cuts out 2 different sizes of tree trunks at once. So I'm going to use the smaller of the 2, and we're just going to use some liquid glue to add those. That is the very easiest way that I can make sure it gets good coverage. So we'll do that, and then great tip of the day for our little take your pick tool. We can just grab by the tacky end and drop it on there, and then I'm just going to use my fingers to make sure it is in place. So there, we've got our little tree trunk. We don't have any little green tree trunks. It is true to color, although albeit a little bit light. I understand. But you can barely tell this was DSP, Designer Series paper. We are just using as much of that DSP as possible. And so we're just adding that to the bottom. Now, if you did the larger of the 2 tree trunks, that would go up a little bit further like that. I like the short one, at least for this. And we'll do the last 2 really quick here. Okay, we're going to allow those to dry just a little bit. And I am also going to bring in another specialty paper that we have, and that is our metallic textured specialty cardstock. Check the bottom of the screen. That's going to be your best bet, your easiest bet. So here you are seeing the copper. It's hard to see in the crazy light here. And then we're calling this tungsten. So we've got the tungsten color. It's kind of a deep silver. And then for our purposes for this project, we are going to be using the bright gold. You can see hopefully a little bit of texture throughout there, and this is going to make a fantastic background for us. You can find that in our annual catalog. All right, then we're going to go back to our trimmer, which I put upside down. And now we're ready to score our trees. So just center it in the cutting groove here. I always feel like it likes to move with my fingers. And don't be afraid to give it a real good crease there. So we'll do all 4 just like that. Then we're going to fold them in half. As I said before, notice how I was really careful when I cut these to get all different patterns of gold on them. I think that really makes a cool look. So we're going to fold these to the inside and then use the bone folder to really get them nice and creased. Next, we're going to adhere them together using some more liquid glue. So I'll put glue on one side, and then I'm going to adhere another one. Remember, these need to stay folded close for this. And what I would suggest is getting all the way to the tip. Otherwise, they'll separate like this, and we want those all the way. We'll do the next one the same way. So get the glue all the way to the tip if you can. But I loved doing this with ornaments. We've had ornament dies and punches in the past that I really enjoyed doing this with, and I thought it'll work very nicely with the trees as well. Okay, we're just making sure they're getting all lined up here as best we can. And then check this out. That is such a cool look. And we're going to use this on the front of our card. And guess what? It can separate to go into an envelope, which I love. I love that. I love that feature. Okay, so here's how our tree will sit. And we are going to put it on one of the large postage stamps, but it's so big. If I turn it this direction, I notice that it fits much, much better on about half. So I'm going to show you how to use that same die to now cut this die down for this to fit better on here. So I'll bring in the die and we're going to line this up. And I just want to make sure it's going to fit nicely. Maybe one more notch. But we need to line up the notches on the sides so that it doesn't get off and cut funky. And I think that is going to be perfect. So then when you run it through, as you see, it's only going to cut here, which is going to make this die smaller than it actually is. So we're going to run that die through and see what happens. Check out how amazing that is. And now we are at the right size. Fabulous. Love it. Okay, we can do a couple different things with this. We could run this through. See how it's cut the wrong way? Well, you could run this through and make this do the same type of thing to the other side and make a taller, skinnier one. We could also use this as scrap to do ornaments for our tree. I have chosen to just let the gold speak without any ornaments or anything like that on it. So we're just going to leave it as is. And we're going to glue our tree on to our postage stamp by just opening the back up again. And if you have two sides that are the back of the DSP, then you know you did it right. All right, so we're going to add that here. And let me get this up in your view a little bit better. And then just push down. Now I could have just chosen to use 3 trees and then it would have been more even, but I wanted a little bit more fanning action happening. So I chose to add 1 more. So it's not, you know, this is the centerpiece here. It's not really even when you lay it flat, but it makes no difference because when you lay it flat, you're simply putting it in an envelope, right? Otherwise you want it fanned out like this. Then we're going to take another piece of the gold and we're going to add a piece of the back. Remember I said earlier that we were going to use the back of this piece. So we had the little stripy pattern. To me, this reminds me a little bit of grass. And we have a 2-inch piece here that we're going to layer onto our 4 by 5 1/4, I think it is. And then we're going to cut that out using that same die so that we've got a little bit of green here at the bottom of our postage stamp. Now you can use the little bumps on the sides of the postage stamp die to make sure that it is straight and then run it through that way. So now when we bring in our card base, which is a piece of old olive cardstock cut 4 1/4 by 11 and then scored in half at 5 1/2. Now we're going to add this piece here, but wait, first we want to adhere a little bit of our ribbon around there as well. So we're gonna kind of eyeball this here, measuring. It's hard when you're using a wide ribbon like this to get it to lay flat and tie a bow or a knot. but we're going to do something a little bit different. We're just going to tie it around, and actually I didn't want adhesive on the whole thing. I want to take the adhesive off about right here. I love our Stamp and Seal because it really does have a good seal on it, but you can also move the adhesive around a little, which is what I had to do here because I forgot. So we're going to add that here and then bring it around back and just adhere it to the back loosely. We don't want to pull it too tight, because then what we're going to do is take a piece of our gold ribbon. Remember, we talked about this at the beginning being as part of our online exclusives. And what you'll notice about this ribbon is on one side, there's a little Very Vanilla down the center, and on the other side, it's all gold. Well, because we're doing the Very Vanilla thing here, we're going to just allow that Very Vanilla side to show, and we're just going to slip that through where I took that adhesive out from under the ribbon, and then we're just going to tie this in a knot. So we're gonna, I want it to gather a certain way, so I'm helping it out a little bit here, and then we'll just tie that there and tie that here, and it's super cute and elegant, right? We're going for both. Cute and elegant, pretty. We want all of it. Okay, then we're going to add this to our card. And you are noticing no stamping. Now, don't expect that throughout the whole 12 projects here, my friends. This is just, I wanted to showcase what some of these products could do. And then we're going to pop this up and have it a little offset here to the side, leaving a little bit of green showing at the bottom, but then moving it towards the edge a little bit more. In fact, if I was paying closer attention, Amy, I would adhere this a little bit closer to the left-hand edge. I'm so used to centering things that I completely spaced that out. So let's move that over here a little bit. And then we're going to take this, and like I said, we're going to pop that up with some Stampin' Dimensionals. And we're going to use plenty because that's how I roll. But I am looking so forward to sharing more projects with you over the next few weeks. And watch for coming soon an alternate paper pumpkin project as part of these 12 projects as well. So that'll be a lot of fun to play with that kit together on screen here. And then we'll just add that, and voila, card number 1 of the 12 projects of Christmas 2024. It's hard to say, 2024. Now, a couple of things that you could do if you were so inclined. I'm not inclined because I like it the way it is. You could put a star on the top. You could stamp it and emboss it, or you could cut it out. The dies here have a star with it. The reason I chose not to is because of all of the gold here already. I didn't feel like we needed any more gold. But the other thing that I would suggest doing is taking a piece of Very Vanilla cardstock and adhering that to the center so that you've got a little space to write or to stamp a sentiment. So we could certainly finish this card off by taking, we'll finish it by actually stamping. What do you think? I'm going to use the Decorative Trees stamp set, which coordinates obviously and is sold as a bundle with the Decorative Trees dies that I've been showing you. And then we're going to stamp in Old Olive ink. This is A Very Merry Christmas, and I love this stamp because it's even in the shape of a Christmas tree, which is so fun. And then you can sign it and have yourself a really lovely Christmas card for our first project. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Looks like I have a little adhesive here I need to brush off. But thanks for joining me and thanks for watching. Tell your friends we've got a great few weeks planned, and I can't wait to share with you another one. See you soon, and Merry Christmas.